First thing we want to do is create a new document. So we'll go to File, New, or Command N. In this case, we're just going to make it letter, but let's keep it landscape. And I'm going to call this banana exercise. I think that's how. Exercise? Sure, why not? We'll call that banana exercise. Now, while we were away, I created a drawing, and I'll show you that in just a moment. But when you're drawing a shape, we're going to draw a banana. We need to make sure that we understand and recognize the shape that we're going to draw and have a plan. More than anything, we always have to have a plan for the projects that we're working on in Illustrator and know what we want to do and how we want to accomplish, because we have to create a sense of order. For example, if I wanted to draw a donut, I would have to know that first I've got to have, this brown shape right there, and then I have to have a circle inside so it looks like a donut, right? Well, it would be really problematic if I were to draw first the donut hole and then over the top of it draw the donut, because I wouldn't be able to tell what was what. It would mean nothing to me because that hole wasn't there first. So as a rule, I want to keep track of the order that I'm working on. Now, I've gone ahead and sketched a banana, and you know what, I'll go ahead and upload that so that you'll be able to use that if you want to. So this will be on the blog. I'm going to go ahead, and instead, I don't want to open artwork in it, I want to place. So I'm going to go to my desktop, and there's my banana, and I'll place that. Now so I don't mess things up, I'm going to go to Object Lock. That will lock it so I don't have to worry about it. Now I'm going to zoom in a little closer. It's too close. I'll get my pen tool. Now our standard color that we think of when we think of bananas is yellow. So I'm going to get my yellow tone right here. And I'm going to start drawing around the outline of this shape. So I'll click here, and I usually start where there's a dramatic change in direction. Then I'm going to click here and remove that extra anchor point. I'll come here and drag, remove the extra anchor point. Always removing that extra anchor point and trying to get as far away as possible from the previous anchor point so that I have a really nice, graceful curve. Come here and get that, click and get rid of that extra anchor point, get rid of that, come here, now I'll come around here. I've got a little bit of a problem in that I can't see what's going on with my banana, but that's an easy fix. If I come over to my colors here, I can click on this little item right here, this double arrow, and it will toggle it back and forth so I can still see what's going on. I can still see that yellow line, and I can see the artwork that I'm drawing on. So I'll go ahead and click there. I'm going to come here, get rid of that extra anchor point, come here, get rid of the extra anchor point, here, get rid of the extra anchor point, and then finish up right there. So there's my full banana shape. Now, that's great, but again, the problem is I can't see what's going on underneath it, so I'm going to go ahead and just swap that back. Now, I'll push my Command key so I get my arrow and click on the white just so it will deselect that. Now I want to come in here and put a shadow in. So I'm going to click here, and then I'm going to come around this shape and get rid of all of the, I'm going to get rid of all the handles and get rid of the extra handle every time and try to get as smooth a shape as I can between those individual anchor points. Okay, so I'll get rid of this. I'm going to come back up here. Now my color right now is this yellow, but the problem that I have is it's a little bit, well, it's the exact same color as the outside, so I've got to make it a little bit darker. In this case, I'm going to go to my window, to colors, and I'm going to add just a little bit of yellow to darken that up. Okay. So now when I select this, I can toggle that back and forth and I get that shadow underneath there. Okay? Now I'm going to come up here to the top. I'm going to be starting with this yellow as an outline. I'll come here, click and drag, get rid of the extra anchor point. Come here and click and drag, get rid of the extra anchor point. Come up here and click and drag, again get rid of that point. Click and drag, get rid of that point, click and drag, and then finally finish up. Oops, I should have gotten rid of that extra anchor point. I'm not really happy with this shape right here, so got to drag that up, get rid of the extra anchor point, drag that, get rid of the extra anchor point, and finish up right there. Now, I swap that back. It's great, that shape looks good, but again, this time it's a little problem because this is the same color as this. We need it to be a little lighter. So I'm just going to come over here to my colors, and I'm going to grab this slider and lighten it up just a little bit. And now, when I select this and toggle it, I have that banana. Okay. Now, the other part, they usually have a little bit of green and brown and stuff like that. I know what that's going to look like, so I'm not going to worry about it too much, not as far as seeing what's behind. So I'm just going to come over here to green, and now I'm going to get my pen tool, and I'm going to click and drag, get rid of that extra anchor point, and I'm going to kind of create from scratch, or just from sort of a plan I have in my head of what I want to draw. Now I know where this is going. If I need to, I can swap that back, but it doesn't really matter because I know the shapes I've drawn already. I'll bring this up here, come down here, and now I'll come over here and finish up like that. And I can swap that back, and then I've got my banana starting here. I may want a little bit of brown, so now I'm going to go get my dark brown. Actually, that's too dark. I'm going to get this. And I'm going to come in here and make this bottom part brown. Just give that little tiny, burst of realism, I suppose. Like that. I'll deselect. And I can come up here and do the same thing. So I can come up here, click and drag, come up here, until I've got sort of the shape that I want to be able to create. Now, one of the great things about this is I can also select this, and I can copy it and paste it, and then what I can do is go to my rotation tool, and you'll see this little crosshair. That's like a pin in a piece of paper. It will rotate around that. In this case, what I'm going to do is grab this, bring it here, and just sort of rotate it a little bit. And this is a great time saver. I'm now going to select this and drag it down here and go in and adjust those anchor points so that it will give me the shape that I want to have. Oops, I grabbed the wrong part. Grab that. See, because all of those handles move independently, I can come in here now and be able to drag and change all of these shapes so that it fits what I want my banana to look like. And then I have my banana here. Okay? So it looks like a banana, pretty much. Pretty close. Now, I want to create a little bit of a shadow here. The way I'm going to do it is this. I'm going to start, I want the shadow gradually blend out. So I'm going to start, and I'm just going to draw a shape right here. And I'll finish up right there. And I'm going to make this a gray. Now I'm going to come in here and I'm going to draw another shape. This may be a little smaller, and this can be a little darker gray, like that. There, like that, and then I'll make one last gray shape right here, and be able to call this good. I'll make that a darker gray right there. Now, part of the problem we're facing is our shadow is obviously in front of our banana. So what we want to do is get our black arrow. I'm going to click and drag over all of our banana shapes. Let's go Object, Arrange, Bring to Front. And then I can move that down so that it rests directly on top of that banana. Okay. Now my image here is still there, so I'm going to go Object, Unlock All. It will unlock that image. I can just select that and hit Delete. Looks like I need to bring, nope, I'm okay there. And there's our banana. So if you need to, go back and go through this again. Do it slowly. See if you can put in some other shapes. Maybe here we've got a little bit more brown kind of coming up through this area. You know, so we've got a little hairlines of brown that are finding their way into this banana that we just bought and it's already spoiling. So go in and work on those shapes and practice that a little bit.